Evaluation plays a critical role in addressing global governance challenges. Public policy evaluation has become a crucial tool of enhancing governance and ensuring effectiveness of policies. In order to further enhance exchanges of evaluators from all over the world, the 2024 National Evaluation Capacities Conference is held in Beijing from October 14th to 18th. And during the conference, China Talk has invited Ms. Isabelle Mercier, Director of UNDP Independent Evaluation Office, to share her evaluation of this year's NEC conference, Chinese modernization, as well as China's efforts in energy transition. Good afternoon, Ms. Mercier. It's a great pleasure to have you today here in our program.
Thank you. I'm very glad to be here.
I know this is your second time to visit China, so what is China like from your perspective?
China is beautiful. It's beautiful. It has an amazing mix of modernity and ancient history, which has really impressed me. And the people are very, very friendly. Each time I visit China, I'm captivated by how stunningly beautiful its cities and landmarks are. Before joining the conference, I just spent a day in Beijing, and I was fascinated by the richness of Chinese history, the architecture and its ancient buildings, but also how quiet the streets sounded with all the electric vehicles. It was remarkable for me to learn that in China, more than 1 in 3 new car registrations last year was electric. I don't think I've ever seen as many electric vehicles in a city. It made it a very quiet and very pleasant place to be. And I think that is due, in large part, to the presence of electric vehicles. It transforms a city. And it is, to be honest, a very huge surprise for me. As someone who hadn't been to China before, I didn't know that this was happening. But I see and I'm impressed at the impacts. Just as a general person walking the streets, it is so much more pleasant. And you could see, if this is the future, I think China's making great strides in showing the world what the future can look like. And of course, coming over here to Yanqing, you see the beautiful mountain scenery, which is a difference. It's a vast difference from the center of the city, but quite a lovely place to be in. And of course, the impressive Great Wall of China has been a personal thrill to visit.
Now, China is pursuing Chinese modernization in all fronts, and I know that one of the sessions of today's conference is focused on the evaluation advances Chinese modernization. So would you please share with us your perspective, your understanding, and your evaluation of Chinese modernization?
Well, I'm an evaluator, and so I'm going to refrain from talking about my opinions on China's modernization. But I can tell you, we have done some work looking at what our evaluations are saying. I'm also deeply impressed by China's substantial investments in research and experimental impact studies, which I understand to be an important part of China's modernization. To me, these efforts underscore the importance that the Chinese government attaches to public policy evaluation and a genuine commitment to evidence-based decision-making. I'm deeply interested in getting to know more about how the Chinese government will work with academia and other partners in evaluating its modernization efforts. This morning, we just had a very insightful session on it. To me, it was very inspiring to hear that the Chinese government is putting evaluation at the forefront of its modernization efforts, particularly around its goals of common prosperity for all and harmony between humanity and nature, which are at the core of the Sustainable Development Goals.
I've noticed that one of the 70 goals of the 2030 Agenda of Sustainable Development is clean energy. Actually, China has done great efforts in energy transition. The electric vehicles all around the streets of China is great evidence. So how would you evaluate China's new energy products, such as the EVs? Is it a blessing or a curse or challenge to the world?
Well, turning to cleaner energy is the only path towards a greater future and the reduction of carbon dioxide emissions. This is clear. And it's also clear that the success or failure of China's energy transition will be a determining factor in the global fight against climate change, given that China is among the world's largest greenhouse gas emitters. I'm afraid I don't have the information to be able to fully evaluate China's path towards cleaner energy. And so I cannot answer your question, but I can share with you what our evaluations of the UNDP's support to China's efforts in this area include. Our evaluations acknowledge that China has emerged as a global leader in climate change mitigation, thanks to its ambitious environmental policies to combat pollution and reduce carbon emissions. China is also the largest producer of renewable energy, and it has a massive capacity to produce and use electric and fuel cell vehicles. And our evaluations also recognize that UNDP has played a key role in supporting China's journey towards this transition, including through the development of fuel cell industry and demonstration projects which resulted in new rules on clean energy, automotive enterprises and products. The path towards carbon neutrality requires significant investments, but I'm hopeful that with UNDP as a partner, China will achieve this goal by 2060.
Thank you so much for accepting our interview and bring very insightful ideas to us. Thank you.